All right, everyone, welcome back into another NBA DFS live stream. We have you guys covered here with this Saturday slate. It's one that I actually really like. I think the Chicago versus Miami game is obviously going to have a lot of value and a lot of ownership. But because of that, we're going to have a lot of studs to pay up for. What are your initial thoughts for this slate, Chuck?
Well, it's a hilarious slate.
Uh-oh. I don't know if that's my end or Chuck's end there. Let me check. I can't tell right now if my internet's going slow or if Chuck just glitched out.
First,
Sorry. Are you there? Was that me or was
I'm
that you?
here. I feel like it's me. I don't know why my internet cuts out at the worst times, but I don't know if you guys heard what I said. Just the Bulls make this kind of a hilarious slate because they're missing everybody. Dasunmu, Werder, Patrick Williams was showing up as one of the top three guys, and Matas Buzelis. So we're gonna have to talk about them because they're taking up the large majority of the ownership on this slate.
So the comments were saying that was on you. You were breaking the matrix there again. I actually think it was the Bulls. I think we blame the Bulls there. Just it's like, how do you handle what's going on there tonight?
My internet only cuts out on the stream. So I don't know. I'll ask AI later.
Well, I mean, it's Midwest versus. I mean, it's a pretty big distance between us two here. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I don't think so at all, but you never know.
Saw someone mention Paul George in the chat. Drops 30 points once, and the league instantly drug tests him. And like, I don't think he got caught for anything that was like performance enhancing, right? But it's
Yeah.
I like Paul George, so I hate to see it. It makes the Sixers a little more interesting too.
I will say, just in general, there being a Bucks fan, I don't get why there's no Embiid trade talks at all. Like, why aren't they making up any trade talks for that? I don't get it. It's so weird to me.
Well, on one hand, he's good again. On the other hand, you could try to sell high, move him to a more true of a contender, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, Embiid for Giannis, does that really change anything for either team?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. I'm saying, like, your Lakers, as they're always a team that likes to get in the mix with those trades. I feel like there's some sort of logical trade in there for an injury-prone center, or maybe not them, but you get the point. Like a team like that might actually have a shot at doing something in the playoffs.
Man, if Rob can swap Rui for Joel Embiid, then
Well,
he
that's
really
not
is
gonna
the best
happen.
GM of all time.
That's not
Throw
gonna
in
happen.
Jared Vanderbilt. He can go too.
All right, that's the problem right there. I was thinking like Aiden and a couple firsts or something crazy. I don't know, but I don't know, just that always gets me weird. And obviously with Paul George not being there, that creates a weird situation for the Sixers. We'll obviously talk about that team here. Honestly, a lot to get into. We'll start out here with Atlanta, who also has an injured big on their squad. That's is still out. Porzingis is still out. Krejci's out, and then you have Anika out as well. Jalen Johnson should be good to go. The question is, do we pay for Jalen Johnson with the amount of salary that we have left over, that we're going to have left over because of the Miami and Chicago value? This is an appealing game, 233 total, 1 point spread.
Yeah, I still have to play around with my exposures, but right now my top owned guys are three guys on the Bulls, and then it's all pay ups. Jalen Johnson's at the top of that list, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, like Sengun is getting in there, Anthony Edwards. So we have a lot of guys to pick from. Jalen Johnson, I kind of think his ownership is pretty reasonable, particularly over on FanDuel at only 20%. He's a little more expensive, but models telling us he's a pretty good value, even though he's one of the most expensive players on the slate. Might be the most expensive player on the slate, but I like Jalen Johnson a lot. And then there's a couple other pieces to get to from this team too. Dyson Daniels is better with Jalen Johnson. He sucked last time, but hopefully he'll be okay today against Indiana. And then Christian Coloco is the weird one, right? If he probably starts at center, models telling us he's an outstanding value, and he's only projected for 2%.
Yeah, that's the spot where, like, do we even need to get to it tonight? I mean, honestly, it's an appealing spot though. Still, like, I'm fine getting there, especially getting a little bit different with them. Like, I don't mind that, and we'll call it as well. Like, if we need to, which we don't tonight, like Corey Kispert could be in play as well with Krejci being out. We don't need to get there. I'm just like, he's cheap, gonna get 20, maybe 25 minutes, but we don't need to get there. Coloco's the one that's popping, so. Are you going to get to him? Are you going to force him in at all?
I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to force him in because I still don't want to take up that many roster spots. Like I said, I'm playing a lot of Jalen Johnson. I'll probably get to some Dyson, and then if I mix
Mhm.
in Coloco, that's already so much from this team, and I'm not getting too much from Indiana side.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get here, but I want to be a little bit careful about it, just because I'm gonna have like pretty concentrated ownerships if I get to a ton of this game.
Yeah. So you mentioned Indiana. There's not much that's appealing with them. Andrew Nembhard, getting some ownership here. That's basically it. He's fine. I don't really see the point of messing around with anyone here. You don't see anything as well, right?
I mean, I have like a little bit. Matherin, I don't know if he was confirmed in. I have him showing up a little bit, yeah, a little bit in Nemhard, but Nemhard's projected for 23% ownership on FanDuel, actually. I'm not quite there, but
Yeah.
he's in the mix. I'm a little surprised I'm not getting some Pascal. 8,500 on FanDuel is a good price. I understand the 24% on him, so I think that's probably where I would focus. I mentioned Matherin, but he's kind of a deep GPP play. He's only projected for a little ownership, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm right there with you. I'm laughing at the conversation we have going on here.
Yeah,
MySpace uses a lot of memory. I don't know. That's
these
funny. Did
guys
you
are.
ever have a MySpace?
Oh, yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you?
we had
Okay.
MySpace, man. What was that, 2004? 2005,
I,
maybe?
I don't really remember the year, but I miss how like music was actually a part of the social media play. I guess it is now with TikTok again, but it was fun putting together like a playlist on MySpace.
Dude, we're dating ourselves a little bit here talking about MySpace. Yeah, making our
It could be
playlist for our
worse.
page. Could
We
be
could be
worse,
talking.
yeah.
We could be talking about like AOL chat or whatever the heck that stuff was.
I was in there. I was in there too before MySpace.
All right, we'll stop at that. Here's a funny comment. Not a funny comment, but Bay for over his PRA. I actually bet that today. I feel like it's an utter trap, though. Honestly, just it's he's been going off too much lately, and we jump into the Pelicans here, and really. I love getting to one of the Pelicans, and I love kind of being overweight on them. I just never like it's always a guessing game. Trey Murphy's getting the most ownership, fair. But then Zion could go off, Bay could go off. I've been getting to Bay a little bit more out of those three, but I kind of like getting a piece of one of them in some of the builds, like as a pay up. What about you?
Yeah, Bay is back. 1% and 2% ownership. I think he's worth it to mix in. He's been pretty consistent. I took a hard look at not PRA but his points prop earlier. It's at around 16.5 right now, and
Mm,
I actually wanted to take the under, but I ended up kind of staying away. He's been kind of hot, and I always talk about we like players against Philadelphia. Um, so he's there. Trey Murphy's he might be what 5 for 41 over the last two games. That might be an exaggeration,
mhm.
but it's something crazy like that. At 14 and 12% against Philadelphia, I'm gonna get back on. He's gonna be in my exposures at a little more than that, and Zion I think fits in pretty well. The model really likes Zion too. We could probably get over on him as a pay up.
Yeah, so I'm fine getting to one of them or even two of them if that happens in some 150 entry max type stuff. But any love for anyone else? I mean, I feel like everyone else is basically properly priced for them.
I don't think I was getting to much else. It's just so much of the value guys, and the guys we'd look at here: Herb Jones, Eve Missy, maybe even Jose Alvarado. It's just the Bulls guys. Some of them are even cheaper, and they project out a lot better. So these guys, like, they're fine pivots if you want to swap out one or two of the Bulls guys. But I don't think anyone here like super stands out. Herb Jones looks good on DK on the model.
Yeah, he's a little bit too cheap, but to your point, we just maybe don't even need to get there. We'll jump into Philly here. So obviously Philly is going to be without Paul George here. Andre Drummond questionable, and Quentin Grimes moved to probable as the day progressed. So it is kind of an interesting spot because Quentin Grimes theoretically should benefit a decent amount with Paul George being off the court. He's only projected for 25 minutes though. Data is somewhat like him, but not really. The data is actually mostly getting to Kelly Oubre and actually Dominic Barlow as some good values. Now, data-wise, Kelly Oubre does see a big bump in his points and fantasy points per 36, about 9 more points and about 10 to 12 more fantasy points per 36. We haven't projected for 35. Is he coming in too low owned at his current ownership?
Who is that owned? I need to refresh the model.
Yeah, sorry, Kelly Oubre is coming in at 9% on DraftKings, 15% on
Okay,
FanDuel. So,
that's what I thought you said. Yeah, that's way too low. Model says he's one of the best values. He's going to come in higher than that. I'm sure this will update as we get closer to lock. But yeah, I'm pretty into getting to a lot of Kelly Oubre today.
I just looking at my lineups right now. I did two different variations. One was 5 of the players basically from the Miami Chicago game, and I'm still getting 20% of Kelly Oubre. So
Okay. I need to rerun. I don't have my stuff updated for him actually.
yeah. Anyone else? I mean, Barlow popping up and there's a little bit interesting. I'm assuming that's like having we don't have Drummond projected for minutes. I'm assuming that's why.
Has Barlow been has his minutes been there?
We
I
haven't
don't have
projected
his
for 24.
24. I wish I could see like his game without last game without Paul George. He's interesting at his price for sure. I mean, is he likely to be a couple more hundred in a few days if he gets a little more playing time? Yeah. So on DK 3600 seems like he's okay to take a couple shots on.
I'm looking at his per 36 production with Paul George off the court. The amount of points he gains per 36 is exactly 0. The amount of rebounds he gains per 36 is exactly 0. And the amount of assists he gains per 36 is exactly not 0. It's 0.3. So that's actually pretty darn
positive.
crazy. Right? Yeah, it's not a bad thing, I guess, but the whole appeal from him would be minutes. But again, we probably don't need to get there. So paying up for Maxey or Embiid at all, or even Edgecombe?
Edgecombe, yeah, Maxey and Embiid, I think well, I probably need to adjust this down a little bit, but I think they're going to naturally show up a lot for a lot of people just because of all the value we have. We have to spend the salary somewhere. These two project out very well. I feel like I'm more interested in Maxey than I am Embiid, but Embiid's been pretty great recently, so I'm not gonna go too crazy with trying to get away from that. But I don't know, 41 and 31%. There's not that outstanding of centers on this slate, but it does seem a little bit high. I mean, Bam, Sengun, Gobert, like we have some options.
Could go with the value Coloco as well.
Yeah, it could. I mean, that's the thing. I don't even have Coloco showing up that much, and I adjusted him to be like okay, and I just don't need his 3,600 salary over on DraftKings anyway. Then on FanDuel, like we kind of dislike paying down for center like that, so it's tough.
I don't have any of Coloco right now, and I have about 10% of Barlow, so I might switch that out a little bit.
Okay, I don't think I got
possible.
any Barlow. I had a. Yeah, I'm not sure. I need to adjust my Philadelphia stuff, but like you said, Barlow doesn't really get the bump, but the model is identifying him as something if he gets 24 minutes. So I think we can consider him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, I think Luke kind of calls it out here as well. It is if Drummond is out. We're not projecting him for minutes. We're kind of assuming that. But let's go ahead and jump on into the fun game of the night, if you want to call it that. I'm calling it that. I'm excited for this game. Chicago versus Miami. And I say that because AO's prop bets have been trashed the whole month of January, seemingly, with Giddy out. It was just like a free square. And I can almost guarantee that this is going to be a spot where he disappoints. I'm somewhat joking, but it kind of just seems like that. He's just been going off in limited minutes. Now this is a spot where he should be 100% owned because he should go off because he's too cheap. Per 36 wise, he crushes with all those players off the court. I mean, just with Vucevic, Trey Jones, and Zach Collins off the court, he averages 35 fantasy points per 36 and about 25% usage. So, I mean, he just pops there. I haven't even looked at it with Giddy off the court. Let me look at it right now. 37 fantasy points per 36 with Giddy off the court as well. So what are we doing with him first? And then we'll talk about some of the other Chicago plays.
I'm going to play a lot.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the court like the whole time. They're short bodies. Even if they don't want to play him a lot of minutes, there are other options. I mean, the bottom, even Isaac Okoro is kind of whatever, but the 4 guys below him, like they're going to have to run one of those guys heavy minutes. So I think all these 5 guys at the top, even including Okoro, they have to play. Like these minutes might even be under projected for him, for all of them.
It is kind of interesting. It is interesting looking at their minutes because I'm looking at like Javon Carter. I'm like, his minutes should probably be, we don't even have to go there, but like his minutes should probably be at 20 if, these players are only getting 33 plus or so.
Yeah. Does this even add up to 240?
Well, I'm sure there's a bunch of random players that are going to get 8 or 7.
Right.
Like Emmanuel Miller is just probable right now. He'll probably get some run, but.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I didn't really mention, let's just recap it. So Vucevic is out, Kobe White's out, Zach Collins is out, Josh Giddey's out, Trey Jones is out, and then Jalen Smith. That's why we're looking at all these plays. So after AO, we obviously have Horter, we have Modest, and then we also have Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams, to me, I'm actually a little bit surprised at his ownership. I fully agree with the data that he's the best value on the slate. Maybe won't dominate, but I don't get why all the other players are chalkier than him. I thought, given his price tag, he would be the chalkiest. Now, maybe people are just able to pay up elsewhere, and that's the problem. But to me, he feels like a starting point.
Patrick Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He is just such a poor fantasy producer overall.
Yeah.
He's 3,300 though.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm gonna get over the field. It seems like a spot to take advantage of. The model's telling us it's good and he's projected for 26 and a half. I made a quick comment that maybe those minutes are even a little too high for him because I don't even think he's played 26 minutes in a game all season now.
That could be.
Yeah, he's played 26 twice, not over 26 though. And so with everyone out, obviously he has a higher chance of doing that today, but I wish it was a little more expensive. It's a dumb decision, huh?
So, I mean, if you don't think he'll get 26 or if you think there's a cap, are you going to go with Ulbrich at all, the center?
I don't. It's hard to want to have interest in anyone else besides Javon Carter. He's done it in the past, but are we really counting on that? Especially he's not unowned. 15 and 7% is not that's pretty significant. Even Ulbrich 8% on DraftKings. It seems like kind of a Hail Mary. I don't mind it though. I don't think it's bad to play Ulbrich. It's not 0% ownership though, or 2% ownership.
Yeah, that's true. I do think that. I mean, Modest should be very safe to have value, but on FanDuel, would you say he's properly priced, or would you say he should be still like 7.8 or 7.7?
Modest, I don't even want to play him at the 7K, so I guess he's appropriately priced. He's underpriced on DK.
Yes.
Everyone's out, but I kind of still question the ceiling. Is he really just going to start taking over and pick up the heavy usage? I'd expect Werder and Dosunmu to pick up more of just more of the overall usage, ball handling, the shooting especially. And so Modest is good, but I mean he's the most expensive one, so that's the one I'm kind of iffy on. I don't want to full jam him. I actually only have 20% of him right now, which is probably a little too low. I'm going to bump him a little bit, but because the other question is how many Bulls are you allowing in a lineup?
Oh, I'm fine with 4.
Okay, me too. Yeah, I usually set 3, but these guys are kind of cheap. 4 seems okay, but the problem is if just all my lineups or a lot of my lineups are going to have these 4 guys at the top, exactly Modest, Io, Pat Williams, and Kevin Werder. If that ends up the optimal, you're basically playing a 4v4 with the rest of the field, or 5v5 on DraftKings, but it's a little awkward, or 5v5 on FanDuel, I mean, but still, so just consider that if you play all 4 of them in a lineup in smaller field stuff, it's probably great, but in larger fields, start mixing in some of those 1-2% owned pivots that we're saying aren't great plays, but we can mix them in.
Yeah, no, I agree. Real quickly on Modest though, do you think his minutes are the safest? He has a pretty good floor, right?
His floor might be okay, yeah. Just laughing at this comment. Is that me?
Yeah, who's breathing into the mic? Is that me or Chuck? Is that what you're referring to?
You guys are hilarious today. I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Thank you for contributing to the show.
I'm curious about the mic though, because my mic's typically a little bit quieter, and everyone else's is typically a little bit louder. So,
well, I started using this one, so it's the same distance from my mouth, no matter where I move my head. It seemed like it was better, but because that ringing sound was on my good mic too.
That's weird. I wonder why. Let's jump in.
Guys saying we're good, yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Appreciate that as well, guys. Thank you. We'll jump into Miami. So, I mean, I'm kind of surprised at the ownership here with a lot of the Miami plays because Hero's still out, Mitchell's still out, Powell's still out, Rozier is still out as well. And so I get that no one's a lock and no play by any means given the pricing because people are priced up. But also you theoretically want to run back plays against Chicago in what should be a great matchup and what is an appealing matchup.
Yeah, I'm pretty much only running it back with Bam's the main one, obviously, but I feel like we should probably get a little bit more on these guys, right?
Yeah, I mean, I love getting the Jaquez. I think Bam is going to be a safe pay up. I don't mind Drew Smith. He might be a little priced up for his safety, but I think he has some upside. Like I don't mind getting to another one of the secondary options. So like Hawkins, I really love. Bam, I really love. Wiggins, I'm fine with that as price tag. Larson, I'm fine with that as price tag. But I'm fine. I want to get to one of those other secondary pieces as well. At least be overweight on them.
Yeah, Hawkes is the guy I'm getting to the second most here as well, and then Jovic is actually going to be third for me. Model says he's okay. He's pulling a little bit of ownership, but I'm okay with it. I'm a little surprised Bam is projected for that low ownership. I kind of wouldn't be surprised if he came in over 30%, especially if people are hand building, just thinking they want to run it back with one Miami guy if they're playing 3 or 4 Chicago guys. Bam is like the most obvious one. So, but if he actually comes in at 22 and 26%, I'm usually pretty bearish on Bam, but today that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I think people are just getting to Embiid a little bit more so is kind of my guess there, but I'm right there with you. But it's weird. Like Bam to me is like my prototypical shoulder shrug play, kind of for the reasons you laid out. It's like, oh, I got a lot of Chicago plays, need to run it back. Oh, my forward position solved already. I can't play Hawkes. And then you just end up on Bam as like the easy click there. Like I think he's a very solid play. It's just maybe he's not as much of a must play, but he's one you're happy to play.
I don't know if I'm happy to play him, but like if he's my if he's my last guy in, I'm happy to click on him if he makes sense for the lineup.
And then I gotta ask, with where we're avoiding it right now. We're at the risk there because theoretically we have seen him shift to a lineup where he's getting minutes. At least earlier in the season, we have seen it be Bam and Ware in similar spots. Like it won't be too shocking. I just feel like it probably is a little bit too risky with him only projected for 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's tough to get there. His minutes, like I don't think there's that much variance in him. We kind of have the idea that Spoelstra doesn't like him right now, and so if he gets a start again, then I think we can go back to him. But until that happens, until we see consistent minutes again, it just seems like too big of a risk.
Yeah. I mean, some pretty darn awesome comments here. Just gotta laugh at them.
This might be the funniest chat day that we've ever had on here.
Distracting us, guys.
Smitty just said Lakers going to get Keon Ellis. I was talking about Rob being the greatest GM of all time. If that's his trade, then that's not it. He's a good player, but we already have Marcus Smart. Same thing.
I think the Lakers are pretty much set with what they can do, actually. You know, that was a poor example earlier. I apologize. We'll jump on into Minnesota. Minnesota's actually been one of the easier teams lately because they've been pretty healthy. Shannon's still out for them. To me, they're kind of just like a nothing burger. I mean, maybe Naz Reid continues to shoot the basketball well. DiVincenzo's maybe a little bit too cheap. Randall can randomly pop off. Edwards is a fine pay up. Gobert's the best value here. I don't like getting into him because we're getting other center plays. Where are you at here with Minnesota?
I think you summed it up perfectly. Ant's a fine pay up to take shots on. Naz Reid, I think at his ownership, 4 and 6% is a really good mid-range guy to take shots on against Memphis. Rudy Gobert is a center.
I just want to pull up Reid real quick. Mm-hmm. Reid's been going off lately. Yeah, good call with the ownership.
Yeah, it's just, if he was 20%, I wouldn't be that interested. But 4 and 6%, especially on this slate, like finding a guy at 5% ownership that can pop off for 40 on any given night is a pretty important thing. Especially, I don't think we're valuing our power forward spot too much today outside of Patrick Williams. So yeah, it's just him, Jalen Johnson, like Buzelis, I guess. But outside of that, we can probably, Hawkes, and like, I usually hate using my center spot on these kind of guys, but today it's probably more okay than it is on most days.
Yeah. We'll jump on in then to Memphis, the other side of this game. So Memphis is once again pretty thin. Jaren Jackson out, Contra out, Aldama. Well, Jaren Jackson and Contra are doubtful. Aldama out, Clark still out, Edey out, and Morant still out. So minutes wise, we have exactly one player projected for above 30 minutes. That's Jock Landale. And I will say, if he gets 31 minutes here, I don't hate it. But why even mess with that? Honestly, like, can we trust that? I don't know.
The 31 minutes? I don't think so. It's a lot. We've seen JJJ has been super annoying, but right now he's got to be the priority over Jock Landale, and he's not that much more expensive. Can you play both? Probably. Jock played 31 in the last game. He hasn't been doing it. I mean, it's been a couple games since he did it. Like he's going up against the best defensive center in the NBA.
I know.
Doesn't seem like the best spot, but the model doesn't hate it. So 21% is kind of high on FanDuel.
Would it be shocking for you though to see someone like Jalen Wells, Coward, or even Vince Williams go off? If I mean, Jaren Jackson's listed as doubtful, so assuming he sits, like one of
Oh,
those
he
three,
is gonna be out.
yeah, one of those three
Uh,
should go off. It's just not go off. One of those three should be able to 6x. It's just figuring out which one of the three, and it's maybe not because of the projected minutes. The projected minutes suck. I mean, like, give us 35 minutes out of someone, please.
I forgot. Jaren Jackson was like, did he get ruled out officially? He was doubtful earlier, right?
Yeah,
I
he's
forgot he was
doubtful.
okay. I forgot he was going to be out. Yeah, Jock Landale's probably okay. The
Mhm.
other guys, Vince Williams. I mean, he could. Are we still taking shots on Camp Spencer though? I'm still getting there a little bit. It seems like 6 and
Yeah.
12%. He hasn't really done it in a while. Again, they're going against one of the better defensive teams, so it's a little tougher. But at that ownership, again, it's tough because the guard spots are very valuable today.
And
So maybe
I will
not.
say, I don't even love Gregory Jackson. Like, I know the data loves him, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the GPP winning lineup. I just, in terms of like being overweight on him, I'm probably not going to do that. 20%, sure. Chalk, if he becomes chalk, I wouldn't want to do that.
He's been consistently mid, which isn't an insult. I mean, he's been right around 20, like in most of these games. The minutes have been pretty consistent. What was his ownership at? I mean,
20 ish.
it's a little bit high. Yeah. I don't have 0% though, but that seems like a little bit much. He does have a ceiling though, obviously. I mean, especially with Jaw and JJJ out, maybe there's more
Mm-hmm.
potential to get it today, but they really haven't shown a willingness to play him 30 plus minutes. Like if he just had the potential to play 30 plus minutes, he's done it once this season. It's back in December. He's fine.
Yeah. I think Wells is a little interesting at 3% on DraftKings just because he is popping up as a solid value. The small forward eligibility only kind of sucks compared to FanDuel, but, a little bit too cheap on both sites. I could see it. It wouldn't be shocking, just ownership play. We'll jump on into the last game here. Houston versus Dallas. So Houston, nothing too crazy there. Did they got back Steven Adams tonight or no? Or he's no.
I feel like Steven
Uh,
Adams out for a while. Yeah,
yeah,
it's Clint
that's right.
Capella day.
Yep. Um, do you think so?
No.
Okay, I was gonna
No.
say.
No, he's
Um,
he's funny because he's not going to play enough minutes for us to be interested in fantasy, but he's like a really, really good backup center in the NBA.
oh yeah, yeah. And is there anyone here that you like? I know Jabari Smith, I believe, had a very good day last game. He's popping up somewhat. Pari Eason probably priced up a little bit too much.
Jabari Smith is one of those players that if the model tells us he's fine, and I said on the last show, like over 14 value is usually what I really look for to be really good value. But on a 5 gamer, like this is good enough for me at 5 and 9% ownership. I'm always willing to get over on Jabari Smith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's fair. I was laughing at another comment there. It wasn't at you, I promise.
Consistently mid, just like my social life. That was a good one, dude.
That's solid. Yeah.
Shout out Luke.
We'll jump into Dallas here. So Dallas, kind of the exact same thing, and this is why I set the rule for at least 5 players out of that Miami versus Chicago game. Doesn't feel like we need to force it. Could someone go off here for Dallas? Sure. Good luck trying to figure it out, especially considering the price tags. Obviously, Flag's been playing, decently well. Brandon Williams properly priced. PJ Washington could go off, but like, do we really need to mess with anyone here? Do you see any? I mean, obviously they're all low owned. Do you see any leverage spots here?
No. Well, I mean, they're kind of like Cooper Flag, I guess, but they're going up against one of the best defenses in the NBA. Houston's second or third behind
Mhm.
Detroit, and it's a tough one for Cooper Flag. I don't know. He's interesting. He went off last time. I took his unders for points assists today. Did you?
I was thinking about doing his over rebounds, and I'm like, it's not worth it.
I just
I
thought his
think
points. Go ahead.
go ahead. No, you go.
I just thought his points prop was a little high. Like, yeah, he went off for what 49 last time, but he hasn't really been doing it. I took PJ Washington's overs though. That's a spot I'd be a little interested in here. Model thinks he's not very good either, but 1
Yeah.
and 3%.
I was thinking about PJ Washington's overs earlier as well. They seem a little bit too low. I don't know. He's someone like prop betting wise. Like I would rather just juice him up a little bit. Like whatever his line is, just bump it up a little bit. Like just bet on him to actually have a good game.
He's at 19.5 PRA, and it's like if he gets 20 PRA, he's probably going to fail at this price. And so, kind of like what you just said, like we need him probably to score 20 points. He's not a super good rebounder.
Mm. Yeah, with Flag, I typically look for overs, and the only over bet I think was like 5 rebounds. So that's my long way of saying, yeah, these unders are probably a decent route to go tonight. Let's refresh this data, and then we'll give a first look build here. Obviously, we're going to be starting out with Chicago. Which player do you want to start with for the first look build from Chicago?
I think Io and Werder are the two. And then after that, there's a discussion about Modus and Patrick Williams are the next two up.
Okay.
And it's like you could say, yeah, Werder went off last time. He doesn't have to put up 40 to be a good play. If he puts up like 28, well, I hate putting numbers on it because we really don't know. But if he's going to play enough minutes that he's going to have the opportunity to have a game that's going to pay off his price. Just if we knew this team was going to be so like missing so many guys before the pricing came out, all of these guys would be a lot more expensive. Like Werder might be 6K. Dasunmu would be maybe towards 7K now. So we're getting a massive discount on this whole team.
Yeah, I know we already had them both popping up really well in the model and whatnot. I was looking at Dasumu's fantasy score was like 38.5, so like really high. So that was on Prize Picks.
Yeah, I have him under that, so maybe that's a decent under, but
yeah,
I have him close, yeah.
But that just does a good job of describing him as just a solid play. From there, I kind of think we have to go with the model here telling us Patrick Williams. I mean, just compared to DK value, he's better than everyone else by a decent margin. Unless you wanted to go a little bit different, maybe get to a lower owned. Well, I think we could get to Kelly Oubre still, a lower owned Koloko or even Gregory Jackson or Barlow.
Yeah, Pat Williams is probably the default, and then if you really feel the need to pivot, we can pivot away from him. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of you guys watching are going to play Patrick Williams today, right? He's not projected for that much ownership considering the situation he's in. 3,300 is a better price than 3,900, but yeah.
I think you laid it out well though, because like the 26 minutes, yeah, if he gets that, that's great, and he should. But also, I think you kind of talked me into the logic of it. Like that doesn't seem like it's lock and loaded for him to get that many minutes just because they haven't really done it.
And for him to get there, even if he does, I still feel like we need to hit positive stock variance on him. He just doesn't shoot that much. He doesn't rebound that much, and he doesn't get that many assists. Just does a little bit of everything, right? So I'm playing him more so on DraftKings, but he's the player I want to be most careful about. We say all this, and he's going to end up getting there in the first 6 minutes. Watch. Well, just assuming he's even starting. We don't know if he's even going to start. They might like him off the bench, in which case I feel like he'd be an even worse player, right?
Nate, I don't know. I think it really just depends on his minutes. I don't really care if he's starting or not. But I do think it's like worth calling out. I mean, 3.3 for him. Koloko's 3.6. Barlow 3.6. Like it really depends on everyone's strategy. Obviously, we're just doing a first build for example purposes, but theoretically, you just make 2 more builds and like put one of those 2 in there.
Yeah, mix it up a little bit. Yeah, it's the easiest way.
Do you want to get to Kelly Oubre then as a play or not?
I think we should get to Kelly Oubre. Yeah, he's a pretty obvious one. Again, if someone feels the need to pivot off, that's fine. Mm-hmm. I don't think Koloko's a smash play. I think he's a good play. I don't know if we need him in here though.
Let's pay up for a stud because we do have so much value, and then if we need to get to him, we can. So let's do a center. I mean, we'll look at the center. So Koloko value wise, we could go with. Then you have Embiid, you have Bam, you have Sengun. I mean, that's really who I'm looking at.
Can we fit Bam, Embiid, and Jalen Johnson?
Let's try it.
Or Sengun, Bam, Embiid, like any combination of those 3. Like Sengun looks good. I saw a comment that it's a pretty cake matchup for him, which it's not a tough one.
It should be. It's always weird when there's a bunch of backups in there, like could just be a sloppy game. Like, sure, he'll get us in the first half and into the third. Maybe it ends up being a blowout. But with this specific lineup, we could change it. We could put Ao in the point guard spot, Kelly Oubre there. Then we could go guard. Not going to do that right now, but 4K left over. In a weird way, I don't really like it. Actually, I'd rather
Yeah,
be
let's
the
swap
guard
something
spot.
out. Yeah, let's swap something out here. Well, which guard do we want to get to? Is there a guard for like 4,600 if we swap Jalen down to Sengun?
Let me see. Just use
like
the tool here.
The next guy I see, I just got a notification that Ty Jerome is going to play today, and I don't know if he showed up in my exposures, but it seems so risky. I don't know if we can get there. It is a consideration that it could take away from maybe Wells and Vince Williams a little bit, though, if Ty Jerome takes some of those minutes.
Yeah. I like the second part of that. I don't like it, but I think the second part's a good point there. It just makes Memphis even uglier there.
Yeah.
I will say I think I would rather get to Jaime Jaquez instead of one of Jalen Johnson or Embiid or Bam.
Let's take Embiid out.
Okay. I'm kind of indifferent though. Like I don't really care.
I'm a big fan of Jalen Johnson, and I'm not that big a fan of Joel Embiid, so that might be a little bit of my bias showing there. But Jalen Johnson's just has a 60-point upside.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna redo this a little bit just to see. I mean, to me, these slates are fun because you're going to make a good lineup. It's just all about trying to make the most optimal, especially hand build wise. We're left with like Daniels, which okay, not great.
I don't hate Dyson. I don't hate him. Like I guess he's okay as a tournament play that helps you win the tournament. Really tough to click on him a single time though.
Mm-hmm.
I probably want to switch it up again somewhere here.
That's Bam, you are out of the build, buddy. We're gonna put Patrick Williams in the center spot.
Okay.
And we're gonna put Jalen Johnson in the power forward, and then Jaquez is going to the forward. We're just really messing it up here. It's funny though, like we were getting some interesting lineups there. So it's not like they're bad. It's just not. I feel like we can all. I don't want to say get perfect, but we could get it pretty nice today.
Well, when you mentioned these are the most fun slates, like to me, a lot of days we have a discussion about is the chalk actually good, and today it's like they could have bad games. Anyone's capable of a bad game, but the Chicago chalk, at least Werder, Dosunmu, I guess Matas, like they are good chalk, and so just plug them in, and the rest of the lineup is a 5v5, 6v6, whatever. We have the high-owned studs that we know are probably great, Maxey, Embiid, Jalen Johnson, and then we can use some of those pivots and get to the lower-owned Ant Edwards, Sengun, even Zion, KD. Like we have a lot of low-owned guys. You just have to hit the one that goes off, and hopefully we get it in there.
We get that right. Yeah. The top play is Maxey per the OF index. Should we just play him?
Yeah, let's throw him in there. I like it. Yeah.
And then we got the utility spot open, which really opens up a lot. 5.9 left over. That might be too much salary. We'll see. Mathurin, Coward, Christie. Again, I don't love it. Just we're leaving salary left over. Weird.
Yeah, just find an upgrade to someone here.
Patrick Williams, probably.
Yeah, Patrick Williams would be the upgrade, but you could still. This is a pretty good like base. Give you a good idea for tournaments at least.
It is. I mean, who do you like? Do you like Drew Smith? Do you like Larson? I mean, which guard do you like the most for Miami?
For Miami?
Yeah.
I don't think I was getting to much. It's mostly just Bam, Jaime, and Jovic for me over on DraftKings. Like I have 5% Pele, 5% Wiggins. I don't even know if he has guard eligibility. 1% of Kasparis, Jacusionis, and then Fontecchio almost won me a tournament a few days ago, so I got to make sure I get a couple percent of him.
I think that's fair. Would you rather get to Edgecombe instead of Maxey? Just out of curiosity. I'm looking at it.
Edgecombe's okay. Yeah, Edgecombe. Like Edgecombe and Coward are two guys that I never like feel great about. Maybe Edgecombe a little more than Coward, but like they've both displayed they have that ceiling.
I was just like, I know the comments were kind of saying get to Sengun, and so I was looking Sengun, and then we have 6.7 left over. We could get to DiVincenzo,
That seems
Edgecombe,
fine.
McCollum.
Yeah. Or McCollum. Yeah. I like this option a lot more than the last one we were playing with. Any of those guys seem good. And I saw someone mention Eason in the chat too. I'm always a big fan of Eason, especially if his minutes are going to get ramped back up close to 30.
Yeah.
We don't know they are, but we have hope.
Yeah. I think that kind of does it for the slate. Hopefully we don't get any more news. Honestly, I just want to spend time making good
chaos.
Yeah, exactly. Any final thoughts for you here?
No, just make good decisions, get lucky. Good luck
in life, or
overall. Yeah, it's a good way to live. Better to be lucky than be good, right?
Yeah. Hopefully tomorrow. I don't know. Like, I want tomorrow's slate to be a little bit more straightforward, but again, I like breaking down these slates. But we'll catch you guys on tomorrow's live stream, guys. Thanks for being here, and good luck.